I think a lot of solar developers, large energy users, are starting to look at other options outside of it. But yeah, we have not heard any feedback about it yet. So that's, like I said, thank you very much for sharing.
And I'll say another thing: we are not promoting any specific
yes,
people
you are,
to do.
because you are giving it visibility. And as far as I know, the Sweetwater Authority's board has not even taken action.
And like I said,
they said they haven't, but here it is as a strategy.
We have not talked with the Sweetwater board. This is purely a strategy that staff identified as a way to decarbonize our water system. So do not take that it's up on one of these things as an endorsement by the city leaders or Sweetwater.
But that's what's going to happen to it as it goes forward. It's a process. Having these workshops and to distill down whatever feedback that makes sense to the focus.
I would say if it is in the plan that city council approves, there would be some time. Yes, but this is the early. So for example, if we get a lot of survey responses from people like yourself, that item might not make it to the next round, the next version. This is an early draft version that we're sharing with the public to solicit feedback.
We are not headed to council anytime soon. This is the gathering.
Eventually, we'll be pushing it back closer to January.
I read the timeline because timeline is relevant.
Yeah, and like I said, and the presentation you'll see that's been pushed back to January of next year.
At the earliest.
So we'll be doing.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, we are not ready.
Has been telling the public, although they have a project, it's in final design phase, and under the secret, they haven't. So it's kind of.
And they haven't engaged with us in that either at all. So we don't know any more than the general public.
Well, I would hope that somebody would reach out to the water agencies and look at issues that relate to them. It doesn't make sense to me to have policy directives that haven't been coordinated. It just makes common sense that you would at least talk to them.
So again, that item was not specifically related to any single project, or
well, think about it. I mean,
could be the bayfront, it could be a reservoir, it could be something in between. It's a very early stage, and it was put there to promote ideas. I would say, if there's other ways to achieve the goal of decarbonizing our water supply, that's what we want to hear about.
Well, I want a process that starts with looking at everything, not jumps to a floating solar option.
Sure.
Because the other ones are cheaper and easier to maintain and less threatening to the water and habitat. I've spent a lot of time researching this.
Is it the plastic floating?
Yeah, they leach chemicals out of
and that would be true of any plastic docks, right?
It's any plastic material.
Okay.
It degrades in the sun.
Yeah.
And it
so that's not specifically the solar issue. That'd be any.
You can't put panels.
But I guess like your concern, for example, I believe the Olympic Training Center has a dock on the reservoir. I don't know if it's with these plastic like floating docks, but if it was, I would imagine that would be a concern too, right?
I would just want to know, I am, I guess to answer your question, I'm concerned about the leaching into the water, yes.
Yeah. But that's
okay. The difference here is I'm not a city of San Diego water drinker, because that's what the Otay Lakes, the city of San Diego. The city of San Diego. I drink the water out of the Sweetwater.
Okay.
So it's personal. Now, you may live in the Otay Lake district and drink water that comes from the Metropolitan Water District. To me, this was a great idea. The Metropolitan Water District, they have enormous reservoirs and way more carbon issues than we do here.
I'm going to go follow up. So I'll go make sure
I'll check on it.
But thank you for engaging me.
Yeah,
in this
absolutely.
whole conversation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to learn.
Absolutely.
And we do hope you'll provide your comments also.
Oh, you're
during
gonna
the
get
survey.
comments for me, but I just kind of have
You
an
know.
understanding. And you're providing that. I don't think anybody's gonna buy that this is some general statement. It's not tied to a project. But I can accept it.
It's a World Economic Forum proposition where the UN is forcing America to abide by the rules of the world.
How are you?
I'm doing good in yourself. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
I have,
likewise, the last community advisory work group, I walked in with not one recording device, but two.
Right? Oh, definitely.
And I am done with somebody making up what happened.
Yeah.
I just think that's so disingenuous.
Exactly.
So
I'll
I
be signing.
appreciate you and what you do. And
I'll be signing up again, so we'll see you there again. I just
well, it just
slam.
and it depends what the topics are. I was there specifically to learn about the water quality consumer report,
Mm-hmm.
and it was helpful.
Yeah. Especially when there's a recorder to like make sure it's
So no, they
you know, because
well, and then I said to the boss,
Mhm.
5 minute recorder. This was $60 on Amazon. This is not gonna break anybody's budget.
no, and it gives them something also to replay. But what did the people say?
Well, if that's what they really want to do.
Or release it to the public so people have the information.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do have. If you'd like to look at some of these items.
Okay, I think this is the one that you showed me.
It does like the opening
I don't know. It doesn't make it possible. That's not
but like I said,
it's like, like, you didn't know what you said.
there's also a summary of the
And I'm still not, which is all kind of weird to me.
Do you think it's worth, I don't know, like doing one run through of the presentation earlier for folks that are.
Yeah, I have a Measure A meeting next with at the police department. I was at 6 o'clock, so I'm trying to finish this one up.
That's not big part, so it's not a lot of people here.
Yeah, I recorded the last one of this too, so
So I can go.
And
that one's already on. And this one's streaming right now. I checked, so it should be not really pretty. So, yeah, it's a fun day.
Wow, interesting times. This is nice. I started doing this just to get out after COVID. Who knew what this
and a survey.
Yeah, and it's a good way to bring community together too. Like you come and meet people, and you know who's here. You know?
The goals. And then survey stuff. And then there's also if you put up a mosquito, you also stick. You left the most comment on the booster for others to see. If you would like to make it private, you can either do the survey or the comments. But sometimes it's good to let other people know what comments have been made and so we want to divide that.
thought we were going to be in the smaller room, so I only came with a couple of cameras. You know, I set up in that small room at the other place with everything, and I had known we were going to be in the big one. I would have got everything.
This is such a nice space. I always use it with my camera.
Yeah, I don't blame it. It's great. Especially when you use mics. Everybody else who comes here and I record with them, they don't have mics on. I'm like, I can barely hear you.
So fair, I'm not planning on using the mic either. These are just up here.
Oh,
I don't know how to use them.
Oh, okay.
But I'll try to speak loud.
No, you do a good job.
And normally I'm getting complained to talk quieter.
That's my problem. Everybody's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, I'm not. I just want to be heard. My dad does the, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we're done with that. I'm going to speak loud.
Any questions about maybe?
I can just give it to you. Okay. And I would say if you're interested in watching the presentation, but it would be on the tool that's seeing up this. No, so that recording.
Recording your conversation. That's great. So that you know, our presentation started around 5:30. I think it's right.
Yes.
And that's information up. So this is
Oh, yeah.
this is so good. Right? Okay. And that's something we'll be able to do for today as well. There is information here meeting with a presentation that there is work.
would it just be no floating solar anywhere? If this were being run?
Notice, floating solar, they're looking at, solar panels. But they're not really floating, they're floating. So this, I mean, I'm not really looking we actually see more. But I would like to do mindful thoughts and not like this.
But again, like, so if there was solar on which I was that was concerned.
That's because it's a very
I'm just trying to like understand is like what is the location?
This technology and the vast different which are new feedback and such. What is out to
Yeah.
And not the plan. Yes, in that setting. Money.
Okay, oh, perfect.
So it has these factors.
Sure.
Not as in space.
And this one, the solar space, someone's offer enough. That's schedule.
I think that's something to.
Perfect. Yeah.
So that's the I think
Well, I should find out.
why that was like. No,
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
that's
That's all. Thank you.
and
Well, the one thing I can say 100% sure is, because I'm the one that put it on there, I created these posters. It was not like intended with any project. And it was not like to support any project. It was purely, and if you look, there's a lot of solutions on there. We're not going to do all of the solutions. It really is kind of throwing like lots of options in the air and seeing ones which get support and which don't. So in that sense, it's very helpful to hear your thoughts.
But that's good for you. I love that.
I think all feedback is good. So it's not a bad thing.
This is similar.
Well, and like I said, this is an early draft.
I agree to hear that this wasn't being there's some more fall.
Okay, yeah. So this has been updated with the new dates.
Today.
Yeah. So if we haven't updated the website, I could go ahead and do that.
Hey, that's all I have. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm
no,
here to
totally.
talk to you guys.
And this is all a moving process. We had been getting direction that we should hurry it up, and we want it wrapped up. And now we've been getting direction that we want it a little bit more public input, take some more time. And so this is the current timeline.
Just get on the list kind of thing. Which is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless you. Sorry. I knew you'd be a wealth of information. Thank you. And I can see why they waited to let you be the one to
Yeah, thank
the data.
you for patience.
Hey, we all have other people don't want to have to get it wrong and have to come back.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
Especially because until this, I don't think anybody's asked about that.
Because they didn't know.
Yeah.
But we're actively trying to because they need to know. Otherwise, it's just going to happen. And we're all going to pay the consequences down the road.
I love that is amazing. Yeah, I think that's yeah. The first nice snack pricing.
I will definitely email and say tomorrow because I think it helps in other visually.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested, like I said, that was put on there because it is a strategy, but not one that we've really researched in depth, and so I'd be very interested in
I have been
doing some research.
actively seeking information since last month.
Okay.
And I did reach out to Manuel when I was trying to find out more about PFAS, and he was very helpful in guiding me because that's like hazardous abuse. He was very helpful.
Yep.
You know, you get into some big long words, things that hurt your head,
Chemical,
health risk,
chemical processes, yeah.
like there's there's math on top of math on top of math, and the real number is you want zero. These are forever
I
chemicals.
work in the same office as David and Rockfall.
So I will definitely follow up.
Yeah, I'll be following up tomorrow, so you got
Well, you
But I think
grounded me, that's fine.
Sure, or just so you have my email from earlier.
It's on the website.
Oh, good, perfect.
But what I really need is
And I can give you that right now too.
And then if there's additional things you want to comment, this is for you as well.
And that is
Are you live in the South Bay?
no, I live near STC, CDC.
Okay. So you do drink city water.
I do.
Probably from Colorado.
Yeah,
I worked in the city of San Diego for 20 years, so I'm very familiar.
nice. In the water, very nice. As a San Diego resident, I'm really excited about pure water projects. I think that's really
Yeah, it's just gonna cost a lot
It
more.
it is. But so does, what is it saying? Like, you don't know the full value of the last drop of water until you lose the last drop of water. Our economy ran out of water. In San Diego, not that much water.
The challenge is the right size of the project.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just, if you reach too far, it's gonna fall on its sword.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what they've done. I was on the book of the city when they were doing the clean water program, and they did the beginning of reclamation, and they had originally wanted to achieve a lot more, but there wasn't enough money. You know, I mean, there was no way to do it. So it appears that pure water is going through the same thing. It's not that the concept is bad, it's the, you know, the true cost of implementation.
Especially with, you know, there's in the last 5-10 years, there's been a revolution in water use, especially around landscaping. We just don't use a lot of homes, you know,
because of necessity,
cut their landscaping for their water bills almost in half. And that, you know, that will affect if you were planning on all those homeowners to pile this water, and now they're not. I mean, that's it. And
one of the things that I had to share, and I see an ongoing conversation about water use. Don't set any of your metrics on the average. Average does not exist. What you have is a range. Because it's either raining a lot or not raining.
Yeah.
And so the average, which a lot of people tend to plan around, never happens.
Yeah.
So I would, as you set the metric for, you know, your building use, don't pick an average.
Yeah.
That would be my advice, and I don't know if the State Water Authority would tell you that, but it's setting yourself up for failure. You've got to have that range. And
yeah, it was shocking as a lifelong San Diego resident. I've always thought, like, well, this is the weather, right? Like, this is just how the weather is in most places. And then I learned San Diego County has the least predictable precipitation in the nation. And I was like, okay, maybe everywhere is not like this. But it was definitely eye-opening. And it makes sense when you look at other areas and their rain or snowfall. They're a lot more steady. We are all over the place.
It's just extremes.
And, you know, especially with new technology, you know, low-flow toilets, low-flow washers. You know, when we replaced, I think it was a toilet in my grandma's house, it went from 7.5 gallons per flush to 1.5. That's a lot of reduction that she's no longer giving the water, and it's great for the consumer. You know, save less on your water bill, but that is a challenge for water districts because you have to.
Well, and sewer districts too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a change in behavior that needs to be accounted for, and all what you assume.
And it's a good thing, but yours has to be planned for.
You're in a really interesting job to keep all these different things, because there really is no heaven on earth, and it's a lot of trade-offs. Trying to find that right blend.
Sure, yeah.
So,
yeah, climate change.
What you do. I mean, to me, it's about just moving forward and understanding what we know. I mean, nobody, at least to me, I believe it would be somebody just fooling themselves to say they've got anything in it, because we don't.
On climate change? Yeah. Or everything?
Climate change. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you can agree to it in as 2 words, but as far as how to make good public policy going forward, it's a challenge because of all those interrelated factors.
I'm a firm believer in being optimistic, and I think for me personally, the last 5 years have been incredible with the new technologies that we're seeing come to market and really change how we use energy.
No, everybody's got, I see we're all dependent on energy more than ever. It's interesting to know that perspective. Because I
But
thought out when everybody didn't have the dependency on energy. Even when oil was cheap. I mean, when I was a kid.
Well, I guess I'm like the price of solar getting so low, the price of batteries, batteries coming onto the grid and playing.
But everything's the mindset of people today is disposable. Nothing's going to last. We don't have good waste streams. There's a lot of huge challenges.
But even that, I would say I'm optimistic on the organic.
What about the reason why I like this is because litter has been wrong my whole life.
Litter?
Litter.
Yeah.
Us littering. And we haven't made any progress on littering, and it's frustrating.
You're not wrong there, and I would agree.
That's a simple concept. Some of these other things are harder to grasp and apply. They're simple. I have time in my life to slow down to pick up. And it's infuriating that it's their devices.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed with my children. I failed with my children's friends, the people that I've encountered in my lifetime. Why do we have so much?
I think that's a deeper question than this we'll get into. But that said, the easy answer I would say is there's a diversity of people, and we're on different paths. As someone who promotes climate change, that's something I've definitely had to accept and have grown in acceptance over the last few years because I see so many people on the other end of that spectrum. Like for the Beautify Chula Vista event, it's so heartwarming to see hundreds of people volunteer their time to go pick up trash, paint over graffiti, do that stuff that makes the community a better place. So, like you said, it's a balance.
Just think when you look at me, I'm doing that every day.
That's good. And there's people like you.
When I was younger, I was part of those groups. I would show up for those planned cleanups. But I don't need to wait for those special days.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, but it makes you wonder what's happening.
Because
we've been educating the youngsters along those lines.
your phone is
Yeah.
okay. As long as it's not like doing something you don't want to do.
This is all really good. I'm going to enjoy talking to you. I'm going to learn a ton.
Yeah, like the one I would say is, and one of the reasons is our energy grid is getting cleaner and more reliant, or more resilient. And it's exciting to see technologies put in place that are, like I said, making it cheaper, cleaner, more resilient. We're in the process, or we're promoting induction stoves, which help make indoor homes cleaner for kids. That's it's not always about the climate change in a far off place with the polar bears. That is important, but it's also about our community. The Chula Vista Shuttle is something I'll be talking about. It provides clean, free rides to those 55 and older in Chula Vista. And only 55 and older can take advantage of rides, but we all get the clean air that comes from removing combustion vehicles from the air. You'll hear me say that again at the slide, but that's just one of the ways where, maybe you can call it annoying optimism. I won't disagree with that. But for me, it's hard not to be optimistic when I look at all of the good work that people are doing. And you want the other thing that I'll say, if you want some optimism, go to the youth. They are very, at least the ones that are invested in their community and like part of sustainability clubs. We as the Office of Sustainability, we more so engage with those who engage with us. But there is some incredible youth that are really driven to solve problems, and I think that's great to see.
when I was at the community forum for District 4, it was a couple days ago, and basically one of the ladies brought up about like the yard waste bin, and she likes the concept of it, right? But the problem that she's having is there's rats and flies that come for the food she's putting in. So she's kind of torn between what is being forced on her compared to the repercussions of what's being forced on her. And so, but it was just a different event that I hear these things in their voice, but I don't see the people come here and voice it here also.
Yeah, and yeah, we might have done, was that Chula Vista resident?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, you said for District 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, I'm not sure. District 4 is the Southwest District?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I have not had any, I live in the city of San Diego, it's a little different, but I love my food waste collection. I have not had any issues with it. And it's like such an easy opportunity. Yeah.
You know what I think it is? Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it was yesterday that we were in. You know, I think it's the way people go about collecting their food waste, because we do not have a problem. But of course, we are not wasteful people. And you know, the few bones that we had, we freeze them. And I learned that from my mother.
Yep.
Who was 90 years old, passed away about 7 years ago. And she always did that. She did not like flies in the trash.
Yeah.
Just was, yeah. So, and we just, I think people are just being wasteful. And they pile their plates on and don't eat their food. And so I just think it's the way they do it, because we don't have that problem. And we do get raccoons, and they come and wash their hands in the pool.
We do get skunks and possums in my neighborhood. Yeah.
But they have never gone into the patio. Because we keep a coffee cup where we put our scraps in the kitchen, and then we empty that into a bigger container that we drop off either to our size house.
Oh, yeah.
Or we put in the bin, like today, we get them in the truck.
Yeah.
And my husband covers them up, because the blackbirds, they're smart.
Do they open the lids?
Oh, we watch them with the neighbors.
Wow.
We're just all kinds of trash. And they will see that the lid is not hardly closed.
Oh, if it's like too full to close?
They will close it.
Interesting. Oh, they just leave it open. Yeah.
And the blackbirds go and peck it, and they dig out bones. And
I'm sure.
They're smart.
Yeah.
And so, but I really do think it's the way people handle their situation.
Yeah, I will say I cook very little meat, and most of what I do is like chicken breast. Sometimes we'll get the full roast chicken, but we always make a soup out of it, so I think that helps.
I really believe it's mindset and the way, like I think she was saying earlier, kind of how we feel and you know, I'm from the central San Joaquin, so and we were raised there, we didn't waste food, you know, our own farm.
Right, and that's
And I was graceful.
yes.
We wonder why they have chips and color.
Yeah, we choose to be.
Yeah.
Probably has too much waste.
See, I do the composting myself, so I eliminate an hour of the situation.
Yeah.
And then I'm a farmer, like not by trade, but person who wants to grow their own food, right? So I handle for five families, or 4 separate families in one household. So it's a lot of waste. And my grandpa won't participate. I can't make him. I can't, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right.
But everybody else participates. But my dad's dad, and he's not going to participate. You know, he's like, I'm too old. What do you want?
And by they're not participating, what is it that they do by curiosity?
just separate. They throw it all in the trash and like we do it for fishing here.
Then you'll have to take this plate and do it.
No, no.
See, I would do that.
You know, I'm definitely, and I was kind of getting like, to come back to the comment I made earlier about, you know, accepting a diversity of paths. You know, for me, you know, I see a lot of those people and it's like, okay, you're right. You do have a right to not do this thing. Like, you do not have to.
Oh yeah,
There's no requirement to care about the future, right? Like, we could burn this place down if we wanted to, and that might be what, not in those words, but like, they don't want to change, and that's okay. For me, it just says, well, that makes me want to do it that much more. And, you know, obviously, we still want to engage those people with kindness and information, but it's unrealistic to expect everybody to make, you know, and like, you know, there's some changes like the organics collection that were made for people, although, you know, there's been no, you know, we're not like,
I'm not sure.
you know, there's been no fines or anything like that about it. Like, we're still, people don't recycle the right way, and we're still not fining them. So, will that day come? Maybe, but I think it's a far, far away. Like, we,
You know the guy
it wants to be
sustainability office said though about what you just said. Remember? He said we're checking your bids and we're good at taking it. Remember that?
They do check bids.
But that's just what it's under threat of arrest, right? At the point where he's trying to make that reference. Because he's telling people, we're gonna check this. You know, and it was I took it kind of negative. That's just the
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any harm in looking and even telling people, hey, it's like, to me, that's a soft approach with information, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not doing this appropriately. If it came with a fine, that's when it goes from soft to a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But if we're just telling people, hey, we checked your bin and you're not doing it as you should be, I think that's pretty soft glove approach.
They need like a little.
Yeah, we call them oopsie taps in the office.
Telling them, and they talk, some people, because we've seen them. We didn't see Republic reason
Yeah.
for that reason. And I think it should, because I was telling the ladies out there that because we do practice zero waste in my home, and it is on my stuff, so we don't have much. And today was our trash day. We have one little bag like that. And I said, so my husband is always something. That's why I said, good for balance. I trained my husband.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we put on board. But he says, why don't we reward it if we do this? And that kind of ties into you were saying
exactly.
about-
So if you one direction, you should be able to more.
So, but we say, and kind of like you said, I said, you know what? This is something that I've always done. So, and it's no biggie. It's a mindset. It's embedded in our brains now. And I like it. I'm glad.
And to be fair, the recycling is something I still struggle with. I do, you know, I'm in the Office of Sustainability. I should probably be a little bit better than I am, but when it gets into the different plastics, that's challenging to me. And so I would appreciate somebody saying, like, hey, I've never had, so I live in the city of San Diego. I've never had I've never gotten a tag. I don't know if they checked me and I was okay, but if I did get one, like, I'm thankful for them saying, like, oh, you're not doing it right, because I might not know and I want to do it right. That's where I really like the organic collection, because once you change, let me go get this person real quick.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stay for the meeting. I got to go to the measure he's across the street. So, that's measure B.
fixing it.
Yeah. What were you saying?
And it's major.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't know.
No, it's a tax here short listed that is audited or sold by the community advisors. At least I go to so many meetings that I'm trying to like go through my file in my head. What is, because it's a combination of that's community advisor. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because measure A are both taxes. One's purchase and one's getting revoked for 10 more years. I think they have it on the board across the street right now, letting everybody know they're trying to put them out. So. Yeah. Yeah, if you need to from the city.
Okay. Although I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation in about 10 minutes, just to give you a heads up. But what I would say about the organics collection is if businesses plan their waste streams accordingly, it is the simplest thing, and it's very simple. There's been 2 businesses, 1 restaurant and 1, it was like a beer festival. And you might, like they had food trucks and lots of people there drinking, so not really thinking about what the right thing to do is. But everything was organic. All the plates were paper, all of the forks were bamboo, or cardboard, I think bamboo. And they just had, and then in the waste areas, they just had like, I think 4 or 5 organic bins, and then 1 trash can. And then they said, if you purchase this item here, throw it in the organics. If you brought it from home, put it in the trash.
They have like labels.
Yeah, labeled. And it was easy because I might not know what type of plastic something is, but I know I got it here or I brought it from home. And so I was just like really impressed with how simple it was. Like, yep, got everything in my hand. I bought from here. It just goes right in there.
Well, see, those are all little changes that can be implemented. One of the things that my husband always discusses with me is plastics. Okay, I learned from the Zero Waste Academy that two recipes of 1s, 2s, and 5s. And of course, they take yogurt containers and all that, and where was going to have But some items, like my husband would say, well, how many do they expect when he's 78 years old to see the little icon on there? Yes, the magnifying glass. And then, of course, some of them are 7s, which they don't take, and it depends on your jurisdiction. And he says, how would they expect the normal person to participate in this gift again? If I'm married to you and I'm having problems with. So yes, so that's what I would like to see the city do something about. Like, because sometimes I think, I put together all these little items that I have after I open up something with food, and I would like to take them to them and say, okay, tell me where you
Yeah.
Is this trash? Is this shrubbery? I call it shrubbery, or does this go into the hospital here in trees?
Yeah.
Because there are so many little items that
But once, if all those little items were compostable, it'd be so much simpler because it's all in the same one. Like, and there'll still be like cans that we recycle and stuff. And I'm not saying like we won't recycle, but if we plan, if the people producing the products put more thought into where they go, it would make it a lot easier for us. And I've seen that in these places that do that. And I'm like, it's funny that I'm impressed that it's easy for me to throw away. Like, it should always be easy to throw away your waste, right? But yeah, so that's one of the things that I really like about organics, the organic collection, is that I think there'll be a learning curve for the businesses and events.
Well, there's examples to be said as well. Like they were saying at the parks, is they were saying that why are we doing this, but the city isn't putting out bins to help people do an application and things like that to set the example, rather than only seeing it at your house and then get to secretly do whatever you want. No, you got to do it in front of everyone.
Yeah, and that's not my section, so I don't know for sure, but I would imagine it's cost, right? That said, we are at special events now where we have the temporary cardboard containers. You should see trash, recycling, and food.
And you guys even have kids there too that were doing the assistance in the helping.
I will say, without somebody there watching it, it doesn't work. You need someone, and again, it's a challenge for me. I totally get that. But yeah, so that's and I think that's probably also one of the challenges for doing it in parks, is with no one there. Will it be misused? Probably, but we'll get there. I don't know what their timeline is, but
other countries they put out different bins and they set their own. Not saying that I think that's the best way, but I see the examples being made by the governments and not just the enforcement to the public. You know.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what I think we're dealing with, is the government's inability to accept their own rules.
Well, and I would say a lot of that comes down to budget, right? Like most local governments don't have millions of dollars to invest in new infrastructure. And so it's going to be a slow process for some of those things, like putting new trash. It might seem like a small thing. Oh, you just need a new trash can in the parks. But when you multiply it by what that needs, because it's not, it's like, actually you need 5 in each park, and then you need more people to pick it up. It can get expensive quickly. But yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a good comment that we'd love to have on the survey for that section too, because then that helps us say, hey, this is what the public's expecting. We should try to increase these services. So I like that comment. Cookie maker.
Somebody left it.
Okay.
Sustainability, I like. Somebody.
All right, guys. I'm sorry I got to do this, but I got to go to the other meeting, so I'm going to miss it all. I'm sorry.
Sorry, but I think it's the same one you've seen before.
I know.
And I don't know if you checked it out online, but it's online.
Yeah.
But we are going to be starting. So.
You guys enjoy, though. I just don't want to disrupt it, because I will leave halfway through. It was good to see you again. And you as well. All right. So, unfortunate, but there could be a lot of people in this room. This meeting. So, I will leave you guys there, and I will start up another stream here in a second, so stay tuned. I could try and leave this one running, but I think I'm just going to end it. So, thanks for tuning in, and that's the climate action plan, and they have a presentation online, like he was saying, but I do have to record this meeting. I can't miss it. I have to make a public comment. So thanks again for tuning in.